Coming up, results of the local Iowa City elections. Then, what voters were looking for at the polls.
And later, Iowa's governor endorses her presidential candidate.
All that and a profile on an Iowa State representative, along with making sure your facts are straight.
Also, where presidents have stopped in Iowa and something for you to consider.
Good evening and welcome to The Update, your home for news and politics.
From the local level to nationwide, we're keeping you up to date. I'm Jordan Tovar.
And I'm Johnny Valtman. And of course, we keep it local here, Jordan, and it was a busy day in Iowa City. It was election day, and we had coverage all over the place.
Yeah, Johnny, I didn't get to bed until almost 4:30 last night.
And I only got 20 minutes of sleep, but it was for a good cause. There's a lot to go over. We're going to start right away. 3 at-large candidates went for 2 city council seats. Mazir Salih and Josh Moe were able to secure their spots, but that left Mandy Remington out.
Thank you to Iowa City people who put their trust on me, and thank you for their support, and I hope we'll fulfill the position that I'm going to be and just work hard for the people of Iowa City.
It'll be great. I've come to know Maz pretty well through the campaign process. She's going to be a champion for a lot of people in Iowa City who are sometimes not necessarily noticed. So I'm really excited to work with her.
It's really humbling to have that support, and I appreciate it, and I thank everybody who played any role in this campaign. I will be continuing to seek opportunities for local governance for sure.
Going from the at-large seats now to District A, we're going to send it over to Jayce, who was covering the race for District A.
Thanks, Johnny. District A saw Laura Burgess run away with the race, taking 2/3 of the vote and Pauline Taylor's spot.
I'm just so grateful to be able to continue serving. Immediately, I'm going to start building those relationships with my new colleagues. Very excited to work with Mazahir again, and Josh Moe and I are getting to know each other. So obviously Andrew Dunn and I are already working together. I'm really excited for the team.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. I'm still comfortable with the campaign that I ran. I think, a very positive campaign. I came into this thinking whatever happens, happens, and I had 2 very good terms on the council, and I think my record speaks for itself.
After her loss, Pauline gave no indication that she's going to request a recount and is going to take some time with her family before determining if she plans on running again. Now I'm going to send it back to Jordan in the studio to talk about District C's election.
Thanks, Jayce. And in a landslide victory for District C's race, Andrew Dunn ran unopposed and was elected to be District C's representative.
Now going from the districts to the Iowa City School Board, they held its race for 4 open spots on the board. The 3 incumbents of Molly Abraham, Charlie Eastham, and Lisa Williams were re-elected to their spots, while Mitchell Lingo won out the final spot. The 4 were known as WHALE, an acronym for their names, and they will rejoin the school board with a common understanding of what they want to achieve during their terms.
I've read about the candidates. We have some really different views, so we'll have to find our common ground and what we can agree on to help us move forward.
We're doing a lot of good work on the board right now. I think we function really well, and so it's exciting to have people come back and then one new member join us who I think are going to, really do the work.
Well, I'm looking forward to continuing to work on the district's more pressing issues and the things that we've been working on for the last 4 years and before that.
We're all in it to improve children's outcomes, improve the community, and try to offer the best education possible at the needs of the students.
Now Cara will be joining us as she was at the polls talking to voters yesterday. Cara, what were voters looking for during this election?
Yeah, I spoke with a lot of people yesterday, Johnny, and the issue that kept coming up over and over again was the recent book bans in Iowa. Voters felt strongly that they wanted a school board that was against these bans.
As an educator, so I think to me, all kids have a right to be seen and to be heard and to feel validated.
I really want schooling in Iowa City to be fair, and I think that the book bans are really shocking.
I think my wife and I were both concerned about the state legislature in Des Moines banning books, and wanted to make sure that our school board was one that shared our beliefs that books should not be banned.
The voters I spoke with felt that the candidates who were most aligned with their beliefs on the issue were the 4 who ended up being elected to the board. So it seems that these Iowa City voters got their voices heard. Johnny and Jordan, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Cara. And busy day for elections. And Jordan, you've got a candidate. She didn't run yesterday, but she is running coming up.
Yeah, Johnny, and we've got State Representative Ashley Hinson. And hailing from Des Moines, Hinson is the representative for Congress in Iowa's 2nd District. And not too long ago, she was in our shoes as a college student, but she went to the University of Southern California where she studied broadcast journalism, and just 8 years ago, she was working just up the road as a news anchor for KCRG TV9 in Cedar Rapids. Hinson got her start in politics in 2016, running on the Republican ticket for Iowa's 67th House District, where she defeated Democrat Mark Seidel. 4 years later, she would take it nationwide, running for Iowa's 1st congressional district, where she would defeat incumbent Abby Finkenauer in a tightly contested race during the 2020 election. And when the state decided to redistrict in 2021, most of Hinson's territory became part of District 2, hence why she now represents it. And next year, she'll run for re-election again against the winner of the Democratic primary contested by Sarah Corkery and Jacob Wieland. Now, keeping with the theme of Hinson taking it nationwide, we're going to take it nationwide now by keeping track of some of the presidential candidates around the state.
Yes, and we're going to toss it back out to Cara, who has some news about Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds and who she wants in the White House in 2024.
Thanks, Johnny. And amidst all the election activity we saw this week, Governor Ron DeSantis made a stop in Davenport with Governor Kim Reynolds. The two visited a restaurant to meet with over 200 voters who attended the campaign event. This came just one day after Reynolds endorsed DeSantis for the 2024 presidential election rather than former President Donald Trump.
We need a president who has the skill and the resolve to reverse the madness that we see every single day. And Ron DeSantis is the person that we need leading this country.
You need a president that's going to fight for you. You need a president that's going to win for you. And you need a president that's going to lead this country back to greatness.
This comes as a big boost to DeSantis' campaign, which has been struggling in recent months. Meanwhile, in a ploy to garner support in Iowa, Nikki Haley is launching a new coalition aimed at supporting Iowa's farmers and rural communities. The goal of the Farmers for Nikki coalition is to rally grassroots support for Haley among farmers and their families by focusing on the issues they face. The group is led by several Iowans who have already endorsed Haley, including the former president of the American Soybean Association. DeSantis and Haley are in a power struggle right now as they're both tied for 2nd place in the Iowa polls. It'll be interesting to see if and how things shift following tonight's GOP debate. Jordan and Johnny, back to you.
You know, Johnny, during these elections, it's really common to see a lot of fake stories pop up.
Yes, Jordan, and that's why we have Jayce Bertrand back in the newsroom, and he's going to give us 2 facts he found that are already entirely backed up by the truth.
That's right, Johnny, and I'd like to start off by bringing up a popular post that's been circulating on social media this week. The post claims there has been a help desk in the Salzburg airport in Austria specifically reserved for tourists who were intending to travel to Australia, but read the name wrong. Sorry to ruin the fun, but after some investigating, it appears that the sign included in the post was a joke advertisement and nothing more. And next, we're going to travel back to the Middle East to look at claims that the Yemeni government has declared war on Israel. While it's true that rockets targeting Israel were fired from Yemen, this was from the Houthis rebel group. Now, Houthis occupies the Yemeni capital of Sana'a, but they are not the governing body of Yemen, meaning there's been no declaration of war. And while more fake news circulates every day, I'll be sure to keep an eye out so I can let you all know. For now, I'll send it back to Johnny and Jordan in the studio.
Johnny, I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. What have you got to say?
It has been a little bit since I've done for your consideration, but I think I do have something I think you guys should consider. While every even-numbered year sees major elections like midterms and presidential elections, odd-numbered years hold smaller and still important local elections. Yesterday, over 19,000 people voted in the Iowa City elections. That's just a 25% turnout of over 70,000 plus registered voters. In Johnson County alone, over 90,000 people voted in 2022 elections, which was an improvement from the just over 84,000 voters in 2020. And voting, it can be a complicated thing, from who to vote for, where to vote, and finding the time to go and vote. Yesterday, I went to vote for only the 2nd time in my life, and I ended up going to the wrong precinct to vote. But I did think that I still wanted to go and vote, and to me, every vote does matter, no matter your thoughts on the Electoral College or your outlook on the political scene. Voting is a right that every American has and should use. It's a chance to voice your support for what's important to you. Local elections are vital to communities. A voter I talked to last night told me that these elections have a direct impact on the people. Community members decide the budget for the town. School boards decide what gets taught in schools. And most importantly, candidates are taking on these public service roles to serve you. While our next election will have a big impact on the country, don't forget the next time local elections come around, how important it is to go and vote. And thank you for tuning into the update tonight, where you'll find all your news and politics.
Tune in next week for more updates from the local to the nationwide level.
From the update, I'm Johnny Valtman.
And I'm Jordan Tovar. Have a wonderful night.